Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video we're going to be making our own heat treatment oven. A heat treating oven is a mega useful tool for the knife maker, tool makers, machinists, and its main purpose is to take certain steels, tool steel, certain stainless steels that need precise temperatures to go from a soft state to its hardened form. There's certain steels, you can just put a torch to and then dunk it in oil. For the last week I have been putting together all the electronics, the right fire bricks. These are a grade 26 fire brick. They're good for up to, I think it was 1500 degrees C. I run my workshop off the breaker for our house, which is 240 volts here in the UK at 13 amps. So I'm really restricted with the size of oven that I can make with that amperage, the 13 amps. If I had a dedicated breaker that was like 30 amps, I would definitely be making a bigger one. It doesn't really change things. It just means that the chamber, the oven itself and the chamber will be smaller. We're still going to be able to reach up to 1000 degrees C, and that's going to be plenty for all the kind of steels that I'm going to be using. And I looked at the price of them. It's just totally out of my price range for even a small heat treating oven. £2,500. A decent size one, you can pay up to 8,000, so mega expensive. All the bits that I've bought to put together the oven, 400 on that I spent, so a fraction of the price really, and it's going to do the same job, if no just as good, just as efficient with the way that I'm going to do it. Firstly, we'll build the body. I'm still waiting on my metal coming for the shell, but the body itself is going to be made out of the fabrics, of course. 7 o'clock already at night, so we'll at least get the bricks joined up the night, and then we can actually start properly working on it tomorrow, and hopefully my metal will come tomorrow. So I'll show you the configuration that I'm going to be putting the bricks in, and like this. And then the chamber itself, 11.5 centimetres, 7.5 centimetres here. So that is a massive area for what I need. So I'll quickly show you this knife that I made last week, which led me to thinking I need a heat treating oven. So this knife is a paper knife, or a knife for opening envelopes, and it's really thin. It's a cool knife, It's a cool knife. Nothing else to say, but let's get to it. Right, so I'm just going to make 2 stacks to begin with 6, stacking like that on each other. Actually need, but I know 2 of them are bang on 45.9. Right, for the back and the door, we just need to join 3 together like this. And we'll just let everything dry overnight. So I'm going to move on, and I'm going to start making the element for the oven. I am going to be using this nichrome element wire, about 1mm. Now, the only downside with this is that I'll need to join some bits. We want to think about how much watts we want to push into the oven. You can solve that by looking at our power supply. So I'm going to run the element in series. So that's 2 elements. Total targeted resistance, around about 37. So for 2 elements running in series, for each element around about 18 ohms, and that will take us to our target 36. If we're a wee bit under, that's alright, because I'm sort of pushing it 3100 watts. Now obviously the PID controller will take us up to the temperature that I set it at. The smaller the wattage, the longer it will take to heat up. So get my wire. Alright. We want a wee bit of tension here. I need about 12 metres to get the right resistance. I've put a block here there to support that bit, and I can't go any further on my lathe, so I think I'll probably just take this off and I'll hod it. Right, there we go, I've got it off, and I'm just pulling them apart, just so they're no touching. Let's check the resistance. So I'm just going to put one end on this bit here, just going to wrap it around this bit now, and then I'm going to come and test it until I get to 18.5. I'm going to cut it at 19. When we twist it, that'll probably take away about half an ohm, 1 ohm. So as I said, we want around about 18, 19 for each of the coils. Alright, so there's one coil. 18.8, 18.9. Right, so that's the first one. Right there. There we go. There's both our coils. So tell me still how much I need to cut off. 38 we've got here. And that's good, you know, like, really I've calculated it for 3100 watts, but really for 13 amps we're wanting about 3000, so calculate for a wee bit more because you're going to lose some down the line, so that should be fine, man. Right, so I've got these made now, so we can look at the body. We just want to clean it up, smoothen them out, and then we can cut the grooves for the elements to sit in. This is going to have really good insulation. Just how thick these bits are here, and then we're going to have ceramic wool on the top and the bottom. Mark it there, here. Right, so I'm just going to make a wee jig, and then we'll simply scrape the groove out. Right, here's the wee jig that I've made right along here, and that will go in there, lock it down, and I can just hit it down as I need it. That's a good start, man. That's nice. Yep, that's nice. Yep, perfect, man. Perfecto. I want to make some wee pins with the rest of this stuff, just to hold them in place. Got them joined together. Let's just see what our final resistance is. Oh, so that's 36. That was what I was shooting for. 36.9. That's fine, man. The oven will probably be about 2950, 3000, which is perfect. Right, I'm going to get all this joined together, man. Just the front. Right, that's nice. So I need to carefully get these lined up so that they just come through without any hassle. So I'm just going to leave it overnight to dry. Oh man. For the door, I was planning on using these hinges here, so I'm just going to make my own hinges up. So I've ordered this 2.5mm 3-core, and it's rated for high temperature. There's the number there. I mean, this is the kind of stuff that you want to use. I'm going to run a new line for the workshop into the house using this, and I'll put this on it. Right, there's my metal came, and then I made just a couple of wee bullet hinges, a bit of chrome bar pressed into that, bit of brass. Right, got all my steel. I'm using 25 by 25 angle iron. So right, just finished the back one there. This is the front one. Just want to weld this bit up now, then we can go for there. Just gotta do the other one now. I thought I'd make the frame part for the door. So I've got these two bits here, and then I've got this stuff. Put a couple of welds to hold that in place. So this bit here is going to be against the body. Then I can just weld my wee hinges that I made. Right. I cut a wee channel in the tap here so that when I weld it, the tap bit is in line. So this side here, this is obviously part of the front bit. Then I've got this bit here that will go in the middle, and then this bit here for the inside part. Cut a groove so that it wasn't protruding past there. And then I can put my hinges and weld my hinges to this part here. I'll weld this bit on last after I've got a bit of sheet metal in here. So I'm just going to go around everything now, the front and the back and this bit, and put a proper welder and everything. They turned out pretty nice, man. Happy with them. going to mark around this bit and have this inset into it. So I want to put an extra 3 centimeters on it so that we can get some ceramic wool in the back. So I've got all the side bits cut out here. I always want to put like wee gussets in, just to hold it strong. This stuff here is 4mm, so it's a wee bit thicker. But then I remembered, this is why you always keep stuff. I've got this bag full of these brackets, and they were getting thrown in a bin. So I was like, I'll keep them. What? Before I actually weld the sides onto it, I think it's a good idea to get the sheet metal cut. Attach the sheet metal first, and then we can weld it to it. That'll give me a structure. My sheet metal isn't wide enough for these bits, so I'll need to cut 2 bits going this way and then just join them like that. That's solid. So I'm just going to set up and do the right side now. Make sure everything's square, everything's lining up nicely. Get the top bit welded. So while I'm at it, before I start welding, cut a bit for in here and then cut a bit for the back. Looking no bad. Solid. Put that bit out there. We need to make the actual locking mechanism as well. I've got an idea how I'm going to make that. Right there. Now just these ones here. It's definitely got to be solid enough now without this bit on. Show you what I'm going to do with the door. Just for cosmetics. That looks cool, man. Alright, got it in place. Right, there we go, there's the tap done. I had a wee bit of a problem with it. I think it was like this one, the weld popped, and that one popped, and this one popped, so it was like sagging. So I just clamped it with wood underneath, drilled loads of holes, and just filled them with welding. Pretty solid now. Need to weld this on, but I'm going to do a wee bit better job just to get it seated properly. Instead of a wee bit of scraping, just a wee bit of finesse, and then I'll put some silicone on it, and we'll weld that in place. And then we can get the actual body of the oven into the outer body. Right. So I've cut these pieces here, and I'm going to weld these bits in. I'm going to use these feet. So I'll drill a hole first, then I'll cut them, and then we're going to weld, and then we'll weld that into there for the feet. Look at this. Right, let's see if she fits. Now I need to try and get the ceramic wheel in here. Right, man, got that in, man. Right, so before I can weld the back on, what I need to do the now is 2 holes drilled in this for 2 grommets. Drill the hole, fill the thermocouple, get ceramic terminal blocks, join the element in series, add some of my silicone wire to each of the elements at the bottom here, get it all through, get the back on, and just tack it in place. So through here, I've got this 2.5mm high temperature silicone wire, so I'm going to use this to wire basically everything up, and I'll use that to plug into the outlet, the receptacle. let's for the first time get it up on its feet. Nice, man. I want to start working on the door. So the next thing that I want to work on but is the handle. Bit of steel with a wee kind of arm that comes down and locks onto a dowel, and then we'll have another bolt here that the arm can pivot on. Right. It's not perfectly square. It looks alright, you know. So I'm going to use this bolt here. I'm going to use this. Pretty sure this is a bit of chromoly. Right, let's get the hole drilled and tapped. I actually forgot to weld that bit in. That bit is just to get a bit of extra support, you know. Oh, see, look at that, man. Ho 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 ho, that is like the perfect fit. I've made a crucial mistake. I should have put it more at the middle. It's not pulling it closed at the bottom. And there we go. So now it actually pulls the whole thing in. Got that working perfect. So it just pulls it. Then I've put a wee bit of sort of more radius at the tap bit, so as it clicks into place. Oh, there we go, man. That'll do. Nice. Wee bit of oil on it. That will work perfectly. I need to make up a wee bracket to hold this and then I need to make a wee bracket for this to hit against. So the way that I'm going to use it, when it's out like this, it'll be turned off, and when it's like that, that means it'll be like the door will be closed and we'll have a connection. So somewhere about here. So last night when I made these washers, I wasn't really happy with it, and I'd thought about having a thrust bearing in there and having it tight. That's the way to go. So I thought I'll buy some thrust bearings, but then I need to wait 2 days. So I thought, well, I'll make my own. Real simple. Just a bit of brass, drill some holes, put some wee ball bearings in there, and that acts as a thrust bearing. And I got 2, so I had to make a new bolt. So tighten this right up. There we go, man. Perfect, man. Nice. I'm just going to quickly make up a wee bracket. Nothing special. Wee plate. We'll drill and tap, and then we'll weld the plate to this bit, and then our wee bit here, we'll weld it down there like that. Just epoxy the handle in place as well. It did used to have that wee plastic running on it, but I changed it for a actual ball bearing. And then I've put this plate on it that I'm going to weld. Weld right there like that. And I've got these 2 bits of steel here. I put that, well, weld that somewhere like that. I knew something wasn't right there. Obviously, used with a keen eye will know exactly what happened, what went wrong. I ran out of argon. That's plenty, man. And I've made these brackets. I need to trim them a wee bit. Finish all the welding, clean up all the welds, and then we're going to prep for painting it. And then once it's painted, then we can move on to the electrics. Right, I'm going to start the laborious task of grinding down all these welds, man. And I'm not going to weld these on. Drill some holes into these bits, and I'll drill holes into these bits to attach the box. And then we'll drill and tap this so that we can actually just put it in place. Just going to start grinding everything down, and then getting a layer of black paint on it. And then red paint. We're going to paint these bits red. Just going to get on with grinding. Perfect, man. A nice wee click. Right, let's get the limit switch on. Let's test it. Perfect, man. That's perfect, man. get this back in place. So I need to cut a hole for the controller, the two switches, some fuse holders, probably about right there. That's the one. And we've got a 5 amp, and this is for the PID controller. Two switches. A switch will turn on the controller, and I can set the temperature on that. And once I've got that, then I can turn on the element. So we've got our SSRs, and this is just cheap thermal paste. Right there, like that. In here with this. The earth wire, so through here is going to get screwed into the oven. Five right there. Alright, we're at the point now where I need to take it out of the oven so that we can finish wiring the limit switch in, the thermocouple and the elements. That wire we just put on the SSR there, that will get connected to this limit switch, and then the other side of the limit switch will get connected to number 4. So it's on when the door's opened, so it's this tap one we're wanting. It's closed when the door's opened, and when it closes, connection. So it's this tap one we want. Connect it to the tap one here. Right, now we can connect the thermocouple and the element itself. To bring the element wires. I was just a wee bit too short, man, on this element. I just added a wee bit onto it. Right, so we want to put these on our two spots that are left on the SSR. Right, and the thermocouple wire, positive in 10, negative in 9. Got my ground wire. There we go, man. That's everything. I've double checked everything. Everything's in the right place. Got nice solid connections. And the box, the box is looking a wee bit battered up now, man. Alright, here we go, man. Plug it in. So this one should turn on PID controller. Alright, nice. That tap number is the temperature inside the chamber now. And this is what it's set at. So, see, set 300. Right, turn the elements on now. If we see that going up, then we know the elements are working. It's gone up. Right, so that took about 6 or 7 minutes to get up to that temperature. Now let's set it for 900 degrees. Oh, look at that, man. We're a couple of degrees off in 900. It took about an hour and a half to get up to this temperature. I'm curious, is this wire hot? Stone cold. What about the element wires? Stone cold as well. Thought the element wires might be warm. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to leave it sitting like this for the next hour or two, and I'll let everything burn off. I mean, the handle is cool. What about this? Aye, man, that's cool as well. Do you need to get a wee fan? I'm going to buy a wee small, quiet computer fan, and I'll install it at the back here. And I'll have the fan pulling out the hot air. So I've ran it up to 900 degrees 3 times. I'm going to do it one more time tomorrow before I call it stable, meaning that I've burnt off all the moisture, all the binders, any oil, whatever. There was one problem that I didn't like, which was the limit switch. The limit switch got far too hot for my liking. I mean, this part of the body is metal, that's plastic, and I was worrying that after so many cycles it might melt the plastic parts inside. So what I've done here is I've just created a wee standoff just to bring it out away from the body. See, it wasn't heating up through, you know, any electrical load. It was heating up through the residual heat for the body itself. So I thought all it needs is a wee standoff just to take it away from the body. So I've left the original plate on, 2 plates there with wee aluminium bushings, and then I've got another plate here that's attached to the limit switch itself. I mean, it's going to get hot. You just don't want it to be hot to the point where you can't touch it. And then I changed the wee arm for a piece of brass, and then I had to add 3 more bearings to it because we'd brought it out more. So, but that's all it's needed. I'm going to do one more test tomorrow, bring it up to 900 degrees, then I'll let it cool down, and then the next again day we'll heat treat this bit of 01 tool steel here. This is the 4th time that I've cycled it up to 900. I checked the limit switch here. It's just warm. Before, you couldn't touch it. So this wee standoff is doing its job. Let's open the oven, have a look inside. There we go, but lovely, man. Ain't that a thing of beauty? And if we look here as well, we can see we've got a perfect seal just around this bit here. We're going to heat treat this. This is our first real test heat treating something. So what I've done off camera, I added a wee AC fan in there. Got a switch right here that turns the fan on. So this is an AC fan. And the only reason why that I used an AC fan is because you can wire it right into your line. If you were using a DC fan, you would need a buck converter and then wire it into it for it to work on the AC. This wee fan here, it works perfect. I did think about wiring it into the element switch, but I didn't want it to be on all the time. It's no loud, it's quiet, but we're going to take it up to, it's got about 804. Right, there we go. 804. The last thing that I done was add a wee handle here. So when you open it, you're obviously having to use this handle to pull it open and close. It's a wee bit inconvenient, so I thought, handle right here, and you can unlock it and then you can pull it open. I'm not going to pull it open now because we're not up to temperature yet. But perfect, man. I mean, the box used to be warm before. It's stone cold, man. I'm really surprised at that. So another 10-15 minutes and then we'll preheat this. We are going to preheat it to about 500 degrees with the torch. Slowly start heating it up until it gets to a kind of browny purpley colour. That is about 500 there. So it's going to pull this, open that up, get that in there like that. There we go. So I'm going to set a timer for 5 minutes. Alright, and then we'll quench it. Take this one off. So I haven't actually got the wee files can use to check the hardness of it, but there you go, look at that. Nice. So there you go guys, man. Really happy with how it came together, man, and that it's working perfectly the way it's meant to work. Things that I've seen could cause problems in the future are fixed. With the limit switch heating up too much, that wee standoff just took it away from the body and it just heats up just slight now, look warm. The control box itself, that got a wee bit hot because the SSRs. A wee fan in there, running off the main power line with its wee 1 amp fuse, perfect. Aye man, I'm really happy how it came together, man. I couldn't be any more elated, couldn't be any more happy with it, man. Honestly. Going forward, I'll be able to use these specialty metals and heat them up properly and get them hard. There's obviously certain things that, when I was making it, I knew that it wasn't easily serviceable. The coils themselves, I mean, they are the things that will wear out first. They will oxidise and they will burn out. You know, eventually they will. So how would I go about replacing them? It'll be easy to get in there and to get them out and put new ones in, but it'll be a wee bit difficult at the back there because I've not made it easy to take that off. So what I would do is, at the back, I would simply cut out a square big enough for where the element wires come through. Cut out that square and then cut out another bit that should be a bit bigger than that, and then I could either put rivets in the back of the body and then just bolt that bit of metal to it, and then that'll give you a wee service hatch that you can go in and replace the elements. It works, you know, better than what I thought. It heats up a lot faster than what it did the first couple of times. Obviously I've no got experience using commercially bought kilns to compare. For me that is a good time, man, you know. I learned all the details from a guy called Dan Como. Dan Como's website, and you'll learn everything you need to know about heat treating ovens and making an oven. Aye man, I'll see you in the next project guys, alright? Take it easy and God bless guys. And don't forget, build something guys. See you later.